As a Christian, one's faith is rooted in the belief that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, the Savior of humanity, and the ultimate healer. Many Christians who follow Jesus believe that their faith is sufficient to protect them from harm, including diseases that can be prevented by vaccines. While vaccines have been widely accepted as a crucial tool in preventing the spread of infectious diseases, some Christians argue that they are unnecessary for those who have put their trust in Jesus. One of the primary reasons cited by Christians who oppose vaccination is the belief that their faith will protect them from harm. They point to biblical passages such as Psalm 91:10, which says, "No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling." This verse, along with others like it, is seen as a promise from God that He will protect His people from harm, including diseases. As a result, some Christians believe that they do not need vaccines to protect themselves, as their faith is sufficient to keep them safe. Another reason Christians may oppose vaccination is the belief that it is a form of lack of faith. If one truly believes that Jesus is the healer and protector, then seeking medical intervention, including vaccination, may be seen as a sign of doubt or lack of trust in God's power. This perspective is rooted in the idea that faith and medicine are mutually exclusive, and that seeking medical help is a sign of weakness or lack of spiritual strength. However, this perspective neglects the fact that God often works through human means, including medicine, to bring about healing and protection. Some Christians also argue that vaccines are not necessary because they believe that diseases are a natural part of life, and that they can be used by God to bring about spiritual growth and maturity. This perspective is rooted in the idea that suffering and hardship can be a catalyst for spiritual growth, and that avoiding diseases through vaccination may prevent individuals from experiencing the full range of human emotions and experiences. While it is true that suffering can be a transformative experience, it is also important to recognize that vaccines have been proven to be highly effective in preventing the spread of diseases, and that they can save countless lives. Furthermore, some Christians may be skeptical of the medical establishment and the pharmaceutical industry, which they see as driven by profit rather than a genuine concern for human health. They may argue that vaccines are not as safe or effective as claimed, and that the risks associated with vaccination outweigh any potential benefits. However, this perspective is not supported by scientific evidence, which overwhelmingly shows that vaccines are safe and effective in preventing the spread of diseases. Despite these arguments, it is essential to recognize that vaccines are being proven to be highly effective in preventing the spread of infectious diseases. Vaccines work by introducing a small, harmless piece of a virus or bacteria to the body, which triggers the immune system to produce antibodies that can fight off future infections. This not only protects the individual who receives the vaccine, but also helps to prevent the spread of diseases to others, particularly those who are most vulnerable, such as the elderly, young children, and individuals with compromised immune systems. In conclusion, while some Christians may believe that vaccines are unnecessary due to their faith in Jesus, it is essential to recognize the importance of vaccines in preventing the spread of infectious diseases. Rather than seeing faith and medicine as mutually exclusive, Christians can view vaccination as a way of stewarding the bodies that God has given them, and of loving their neighbors by helping to prevent the spread of diseases. By embracing vaccination, Christians can demonstrate their faith in the living God who works through human means to bring about healing and protection. Ultimately, the decision to vaccinate or not should be based on a careful consideration of the scientific evidence, rather than a misguided sense of spiritual superiority.